morning, guys. Let's see here. We have some contract flashcards for you, and for me too. And first one on the board is must a contract for the sale of real estate be in writing to be enforceable? Must a contract for the sale of real estate be in writing to be enforceable? The answer to that is yes. Because the economic importance of real estate, laws that evolved years ago require contract for the sale of real estate to be in writing to be enforceable. A real estate contract must also include a description sufficient to locate the property. Next item we have is, what is a binder? Think of it as binding things together. A binder is an agreement accompanied by a deposit for the purchase of real estate. The binder shows good faith on the part of the purchaser. In some states, a binder is customarily prepared to guide and precede an agreement. Within a few days, 5 to 10 depending on the state, an attorney will draft a contract of sale. For example, Abel gives Baker a binder on a house for sale in New Jersey. Abel then contracts his attorney to prepare the agreement for sale. What is an oral contract? Is an oral contract acceptable in real estate sale or lease? Think about what we just read. An oral contract is an unwritten agreement. With few exceptions, unwritten agreements in real estate matters are unenforceable. Unwritten contracts for the sale or rental of real estate are unenforceable under the statutes of fraud. Statutes of fraud must be in writing. Oral leases for up to a year are often binding contracts. Oral leases for up to a year, short term, are often binding contracts. Leases up to a year. I'm confused about the words mortgagor and mortgagee. My friend said he bought a house and got a mortgage. Does that make him a mortgagee? We have an OREE rule that is part of this, which you can look for the video on OREE, give or grantee. Your friend who bought a house got a loan. He gave a mortgage to the lender, which pledges the house he bought as collateral for the loan, which is consequently referred to as a mortgage loan. Thus, your friend is the mortgagor, and the lender who received the pledge of property as collateral, the mortgage, is the mortgagee. Okay? Mortgagor, mortgagee. What is the meaning of the suffix OR and EE? So this is an important aspect to know. This will help you remember the OREE rule. Words ending in OR signify the giver. OR is the givor, okay? The words ending in EE refer as the recipient. receivee, recipient. OR is a giver. EE, recipient. An example, grantor, which is the giver, gives a deed to a grantee, who is the receiver. A vendor is the seller. The vendee is the buyer. And the offeror makes the offer to the offeree. A lessor gives a lease. A lessee is the tenant. A donor makes a donation. A donee receives it. Here's a tricky one. A mortgagor is the one who gives the mortgage, and the mortgagee receives it. But this is not meant what you think. This is discussed further in the next card. OREE rule. So they're saying make sure to understand the differences between mortgagor and mortgagee. What are the parties in a contract called? What are some of the abbreviations used in contracts? Okay. The parties to a contract are called principals. Some abbreviations uncommonly used in contracts are. Some abbreviations commonly used in contracts are ETAL, abbreviation for Latin for, which is Latin for and others. Abbreviations ETCON stands for husband. Abbreviations ETUX stands for wife. So abbreviations ETAL is others, ETCON is husband, ETUX is wife. That's a good one to know, huh? How you pronounce it? ETAL is ally for others. ETCON is conjuncts, husband. ETUX, Latin for et exor, is wife. All right. What are some of the common examples of contracts in real estate? Okay. The following are examples. Listing agreement, sales agreement, deeds, mortgages, land contract, installment contract, contract for deed, lease, assignment, option, and exchange. These are important keywords. So we have following are examples of contracts in real estate: listing agreement, sale agreement, deed, mortgage, land contract, installment contract, contract for deed, lease, assignment, option, and exchange. Important for you to understand all those. Okay? Okay, what elements are necessary for a valid contract? Valid contract. Every contract must have these elements. If any of these elements are missing, it's void or voidable. Every contract must have an offer and acceptance. Every contract must have a subject matter. Every contract must have competent parties. Every contract must carry some form of consideration. Every contract must have a legal purpose. Okay? Very important to understand these main elements of a contract. And finally, our last one here for this show is, what is a contract? Okay? That's what it all comes down to. This, by the way, is our final flash in the contracts section, okay? A contract is an agreement between legal competent parties in which one party agrees to do something or not do something in return for consideration from another party. For example, Jane agrees to pay Marilyn a specific amount for catering the reception for Jane's daughter's wedding. A contract spells out what food, beverages, and services Marilyn will provide and how much Jane will pay. So a contract is an agreement between legally competent parties in which one party agrees to do something or not do something in return for consideration from another party. Okay. All right, guys. Hey, thanks for coming by and learning all about contracts. And take a break, 20 minutes, come back,